Okay, so is he?
But
He's
you're
is
live with Mayor Stephanie Blake, and she's here being interviewed by Marjorie Nightingale, reconnecting after how many years, ladies?
ooh
More than 20.
yeah,
More than 20. You guys met when you
1996.
were like 20 years old.
We were young. We were young lawyers at Legal Aid, out to change the world, right?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
that
our
is
goal.
good.
What was our goal? But I was listening to you speak today, and I was thinking, I was kind of reflecting back when we met, back at Legal Aid all those years ago. I didn't know. So when you were at Legal Aid, you were already on City Council.
Yeah. Yeah. I graduated in '95 in June. I started my graduation party was my campaign announcement, and the election was in September, and the general in November. So I got sworn in December. I spent studied for the bar, passed the bar, spent the first year on the council, and then I started at Legal Aid.
Right. And so then I was thinking about, just how young you were when you started. There are a lot of young women of color, particularly at the Blogalicious conference where we are today in your charm city of Baltimore, who really want to set new trails, but there's nobody that kind of blazed it. And you, even though your dad was a very strong politician in Maryland, there was no woman of color who was 25 years old going in city council. What advice would you give to young women who really want to do something different and unique, and people are telling them, you're too young, you're too this, you're too that, or you're not enough of?
I would equip yourself with what you think you need to be successful and just charge ahead. I knew what I needed to do, what skills I needed to have, what expertise I needed to have in order to be successful in politics. And I did it. I was a politics major or political science major in undergrad. I also studied economics. Why? Because I knew that those skills would be helpful in leading a city and being in public service. I went to law school. I knew I was going to practice, but I also knew that those skills would be helpful. The ability, those critical thinking skills, writing skills would be helpful as an elected official. My toolkit was full. So I think the best thing you can do is fill up your toolkit with the things you need, because when you have it, when you have your equipment, people can say what they want, and you have what it takes to continue to push forward.
Right. And then this year has been a really rough year for you, right?
Yeah.
All the way around. And then after you announced yesterday you weren't going to run, so one of the bloggers here at the conference, my friend Karen Taylor Bass, runs a blog called The Brand New Mom, and she wanted me to ask you, because she helps women reset. So you're about to reset your whole life, right? Stepping out of the public eye, really, and out of office. What is your idea? How do you reset after a bad day, and how do you plan to reset kind of your life after stepping away from being mayor?
Just real quick, Stephanie, Sophia Nelson, she said she loves you. Hey, Sora.
Is she on?
She's on Periscope.
Hey, Sophia. So, Sophia, and then my daughter, Sophia. So they're kindred spirits.
Oh, okay.
Very, very independent, no nonsense women.
Yes, yes.
So, how do I reset? I would say I stay in prayer constantly.
Yes.
And it is interesting because from what I have found in my own life is when I stay spiritually connected, I hear, if I don't read it, I hear it. I remember having a bad day, and it was not like I'm not very demonstrative emotionally, so it's not like everybody knew I was having a bad day. I knew it. I was very challenged, personally challenged with something that was going on, and very upset. Within a span of like 10 minutes, I get these text messages, 3 text messages in a row, and I say it was upset and missing my father. Thinking to myself, if he were here, I would have somebody to talk to about it. In a span of 10 minutes, I get these 3 text messages from 3 different men that friends, and they were all spiritual. That you were on my mind. I'm praying for you. It was the weirdest thing, because it's not like I had broadcast that I was going through something, but for me it was, I took it for what it meant for me, which was a sign.
Yes.
And 3 means something if you're Christian, And the fact that they came together to me meant, stay in prayer, stay connected, and that God is still with me, no matter what the challenge is.
Right, right. So what do you see for your future? And what are you planning on doing when you leave? Do you have an idea, or are you going to just take some time to spend with your family? Are you going to travel?
Well, I really had planned on spending a lot of time with my daughter, but she's a preteen, and when I told her, I was like, Sophia, in 15 months, I'm not going to be mayor. We're going to have a lot more time to spend together. She looked at me. We spend plenty of time together, Mom. I was like, preteen.
Yes, preteen.
I was like,
right. The friends are more important than being with mom.
They know how to deflate your bubble.
Yes.
So,
the good news is they come back when they go to college. Then they come back and they want to be your best friend. Then.
I don't. I'm excited, and it's strange for me because it's not like I'm excited about anything in particular. I don't. It's not like I know. The second week of December 2016, I'm going to start to do X. I don't know what it is, but for me, I'm excited to see what God has in store for me, because in making this decision, I was more prayerful than I've ever been in my life, and very, very clear that this was the right thing to do. So to be in this space of stepping out on faith, I know it should probably fill me with anxiety because I'm not sure, but it's not. It's an excitement like I've never felt.
Do you see public office in your future?
I can't imagine myself not being in public office again, just because it's like part of my DNA, and it's honestly one of the earliest things I've wanted to do in life, and the most consistent was to be a public servant. So, I know that I'll find some other way to serve.
And do we, at some point in the future, see a President Rawlings Blake?
I don't know if they're ready for all of this.
the fly hair. Listen, we'll get them ready, right? Yeah. Well, thank you, Stephanie. It was really great talking to you. It's good to see you too. It really is. I wish.